I am Dr. Lynn.
I'm Oprah Davidson.
I am Gideon.
I am Mark.
And
we
are
BAKERpedia
influencers.
Hello, bakers. I'm Mark Floerke, your podcast host for Baked in Science Podcasts. And today on Baker In, we're going to talk chia. I've got some really great innovative products using milled chia and different chia mixes, and I'm going to show you them and we're going to talk about them a little bit today. So let's get started. So I have for you here today some different products I'm going to show you made with ingredients from Benexia. Now, Benexia is a company out of Santiago, Chile, and they are the foremost marketer of chia seeds in the world today. And Santiago, Chile is a perfect position for them, as Chile has some of the most rigorous import and export rules. And this gives them access to many, many markets globally with great ease. Right? And so I've had the opportunity to work with the Benexia milled chia powder. And I also have, first one we're going to talk about is a low carb bread that they make in a mix. And they sent me a 500-gram sample of this. And they sell this in a 25-kilo bag. And so, most of us are probably still familiar with chia seed being, the famous chia pets. Well, it's actually highly nutritious, very high in fiber, high in omega-3, omega-6, as well as a fair amount of protein. So it's well suited to a variety of different products. And so the first things we're going to see here are some breads. And the first things I wanted to talk about, as you can see here in the other frame, is this loaf here, this baguette, and this loaf here, this pan bread. These are low carb keto breads. These are suitable for keto diets. These are low in carbohydrates. There's a high amount of vital wheat gluten added, but it gives a fairly tight crumb. But it is actually quite tender and has a nice nutty flavor. It's nice and soft and quite moist. And as I said, has a really beautiful nutty flavor with a nice chew to it. Almost a little bit spongy. It reminds me a little bit of some of the moist rye breads that you would get in Germany. And similarly here also with the keto bread. It's a fairly tight grain, but it is not super dense. It's a little bit more dough than a standard pan bread, if you would want to say. But the chew and the texture is really good. Excellent for a keto diet. And it's so you're not sacrificing taste or things here. It's going to be significantly added nutrition with more very high fiber and some more protein, as well as the essential oils. What we've done here is a 60% whole wheat bread. And with that, I added 10% of the milled chia flour to the bread. So I get a nice sandwich style bread with that nice nutty chia flavor and the addition of the fiber, which puts this into a excellent source of fiber for 2 slices of bread. And this was a large loaf. This was a 1 kilo loaf in a large oblong pan. So this one's not low carb. This one is high fiber, though still excellent for your diet. Going to go on, we're going to get a couple of other products to show you, also made with the chia seed and also made with a chia mix that Benexia provides. Okay, so still from the chia powder, the milled chia powder, Benexia also makes another mix, just like the bread mix, only this one is a low carb keto cake mix. And so we have two different things here with the keto cake mix. And the other is a standard type of cake or muffin made with the milled chia and regular all-purpose flour. So it is, again, it is not keto, but it is high in fiber and nutrients from the omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids in the chia seed. And so this is a lovely mix, and I've cut one open here. I'm going to show you a slow slice, and it kind of is misleading because it looks kind of dense and tight, and you would think that this is like really dry and tough, but it's not. It's really nice and soft and moist. It has a slight chew to it, and it has a really nice almond flavor and coconut flavor that is blended in there, which really go well together. And so these ones these ones here decorated with sliced almonds on top in the bake, and they come out perfectly. And the other ones over here I've done with coconut on top, and they came out nicely in the bake. And the one thing I did a little bit different here is we still have the same tight sort of grain, but I kind of inverted, or I reduced the egg slightly and increased the water slightly, and it's still nice and moist, nice texture. It has just a little bit nicer bite to it, in my opinion. It's not quite as chewy. Of course, by lowering the egg slightly, it will reduce the protein slightly, but I don't think it would significantly impact the nutrition label. But again, and I love the coconut and almond flavor in these. It's excellent. And so the one in the middle here is a with all-purpose flour and milled chia seed. And I made just a little bit of a oatmeal crumble to go on top of it to give it some character. And this is a apple muffin. So by adding all of the apples is where all the moisture comes from in this formula. And because there's no water being added. This is just eggs, oil, sugar, and the chia seed and some all-purpose flour and baking powder. And then the apples provide all of the moisture. You can see some little pieces there. And it gives it just a lovely flavor and texture. It's very nice and tender. A little bit of cinnamon in there. That's good. Cinnamon and vanilla. Really nice. It's still a rich kind of breakfast muffin, but with the addition of more nutritious fiber, and rather than that sort of that dense branny type of flavor. So really nice, kind of almost like a breakfast cake, right? And so really nice. That's it all from Baker In today. I'm Mark Floerke, your podcast host for Baked in Science Podcasts, and we'll see you in the next one. Innovate with Benexia Chia Powder W435LM, a new plant-based sustainable ingredient for bakery and snacks, designed to achieve superior, healthy, nutrient-dense products with a clean label at the most competitive price. This chia ingredient has high-quality dietary fiber as well as high biological value plant protein and omega-3. Learn more at benexia.com.